one thing I realized that a lot of founders do is we get so obsessed over the big things and we don't know how to scale down and actually tap into our community. So I decided to do that and to just like focus on what I can do with the resources that I had and not to just like focus on these large scale events. So I think throughout every single year there's been a pivot. So like the first year we were really gearing towards moving into production and, you know, like creating our own fashion week, but I felt that was very premature. So we had to scale it all the way down to just like research and again, becoming more of a discovery platform, as well as also creating like D&I initiatives for like brands to tap in to BIPOC creatives. So again, main focus was designers, then we started speaking to stylists, then we started speaking to PRs, fabric technologists, and just like different Black and, you know, POC tastemakers within fashion. So yeah, I feel like the first 5 years, whenever you're launching something, you need to allow, don't be too rigid, allow yourself to pivot, allow yourself to grow with the brand and with the business too. Because then you can like think of new creative ideas to really like, you know, work on your mission and stuff like that. Yeah,
I think that's so true because even like for us, like we started off with this podcast. It was like the first thing we were doing, and then within that first year was good. You know, we were doing different episodes. It was coming along, and then we then started doing all this additional content because we would have conversation with people and it'd be like, oh, this is really cool, but like, we don't feel like to do another episode focused on this would make sense. So we were just like, let's create all these additional content, and we were doing all of this. And then we got to a stage where we were just like, all this additional stuff is literally takes the same amount of time, same amount of effort, same amount of love as this podcast. We were just like, actually, are we really saying that we've got one main podcast and loads of additional podcasts, then when actually we've actually got like loads of podcasts under us and we're now a podcast network. And then now, like within the last year, I said we're now a creative hub, we're a creative platform for people. And now that's changed because basically after doing some research and really thinking about it, I've been like, we actually basically are essentially a social enterprise.
Yeah.
But like you said, allowing yourself to pivot and like not limiting yourself to just have like one thing or like your business to stay in one area is so key.
Yeah, I love that, and I feel so seen by you saying that. And I feel like also for anyone who is a founder, stop allowing people to put you in boxes and stop allowing people to pressure you into also describing yourself. I find that all the time. People always like, what do you do? So what is Altworld? You see what Altworld is. Altworld, as long as your core mission is consistent, you can grow, like you can change, you can pivot. Think of like huge brands like Fenty. Like Fenty started off, ran on clothes and then lingerie and then beauty. No one's questioning her to say, oh, what's this all about? They know that the baseline is that she's big on inclusivity and obviously she's a talent who has now pivoted into, you know, entrepreneurship. So I think there's so much pressure on people to have it all figured out and it's like, no, don't allow anyone to pressure you. Just as long as you know your vision and you know the main principle. Again, with you, the main principle from what I know and what I've observed is like storytelling, exploring stories, bridging the gaps between communities. So however you do that, it doesn't matter. As long as the main value is there and you keep growing and you're not going backwards, then you can pivot 10,000 times. Like, yeah, I think sometimes a lot of people follow this really rigid approach. And for me, as someone who's neurodivergent, neurospicy, that doesn't work for me. So I can say this is what Altworld is, and then in 2 years it changes. But regardless, y'all gonna benefit from it, so yeah.